You've seen it everywhere. The Impossible Whopper, the Beyond Sausage, a food revolution that promises to save your health and save the planet. A product so advanced, it looks, cooks, and even bleeds just like real meat. It's the perfect story. A story of human ingenuity, creating the perfect solution. But what if the perfect story is the perfect lie? What if I told you this food isn't a gift from a garden, but a carefully assembled slurry of cheap industrial chemicals? That the magic ingredient that makes it bleed was never proven to be safe for human consumption, and that the entire movement isn't about saving the planet, but about saving money for them, not for you. Tonight, we expose how your compassion has been hijacked to sell you a product built on a foundation of deception. This is the plant-based meat deception. The story of fake meat isn't a story about food. It's a story about money. To understand why, you need to understand the cost of real food. Raising a single grass-fed cow is a slow, expensive process. The final cost of that nutrient-dense beef? Around $7.63 per pound. Now, consider the primary ingredient in many of these fake meats: soybean meal. The cost of that? A measly 25 cents per pound. Silicon Valley investors saw this difference and didn't see a health opportunity. They saw an arbitrage opportunity. They realized they could take cheap, subsidized crops like soy and corn, use industrial processing to turn them into something that looks like meat, and then sell it to you at the same premium price as the real thing. The marketing was brilliant. They told us we were the problem. Our desire for meat was destroying the world. The solution? Their patented, lab-grown product. It was a story wrapped in compassion, but built on industrial-scale profit. The marketing says, made from plants. The reality is, it's made in a plant, an industrial one. Let's look at the actual ingredients you are eating. The protein base is often soy protein isolate. To get this powder, soybeans are bathed in a solvent called hexane, a known neurotoxin and a component of gasoline. But it gets worse. To give these products their meaty color, some have used dyes like red number 3, a known carcinogen, and caramel coloring, which has been shown to cause cancer in lab rats. To hold it all together, they use industrial binders and chemicals like sodium tripolyphosphate, a preservative also used in detergents, and antifreeze. And to make sure it doesn't spoil on the shelf, they add preservatives like tertiary butyl hydroquinone. This isn't a recipe, it's a chemical formula. So we have a product built on a massive financial incentive and assembled from a cocktail of industrial chemicals, binders, and even pesticides. But the story gets even more disturbing. What about the one ingredient they market as a miracle? The heme that makes these burgers bleed. What if I told you the company's own documents revealed a shocking secret about its safety that they didn't want you to know? So far, we revealed how cheap, subsidized crops are turned into high-priced fake meat for massive profit. And we deconstructed the chemical cocktail inside these products, from neurotoxins like hexane to preservatives used in antifreeze and even slug pesticide. But we left off with the biggest question. What about the magic ingredient that makes these burgers bleed? This is where the deception becomes undeniable. The crown jewel of the plant-based deception is the bleed. The ingredient that makes it possible is called soy lehemoglobin, or SLH. Impossible Foods created it by inserting soybean DNA into genetically engineered yeast, which is then fermented in giant vats. This is a brand new protein that has never existed in the human food supply. Because it was a novel ingredient, the company needed the FDA to recognize it as generally recognized as safe, or GRAS. But according to documents obtained via the Freedom of Information Act, the FDA had concerns. They told the company that their own arguments did not establish the safety of this new substance. But the most damning part? In those same documents, Impossible Foods allegedly admitted to the FDA that their product contained at least 46 unexpected proteins, byproducts of the genetic engineering process, that were not assessed for safety and whose identity was unknown. They put it on the market anyway. On top of that, the GMO soy used is designed to withstand glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup. Independent testing has found glyphosate residue in these products, a chemical linked to organ damage and cancer. We are eating a bioengineered protein, contaminated with unexpected and unassessed proteins, made from crops saturated with a chemical linked to cancer. How did this happen? How did a chemical slurry get positioned as a health food? Through a massive propaganda campaign. It's the same playbook used for decades. Think about the phrase, "breakfast is the most important meal of the day." Sound familiar? It wasn't science. It was a marketing campaign invented in 1944 by the makers of Great Nuts cereal to sell more product. They are doing it again. They've co-opted the environmental movement, funded studies that support their narrative, and used powerful figures like Bill Gates to convince the public that the only solution to our food system's problems is their patented product. Governments push meatless Mondays in schools, conditioning our children to accept these ultra-processed foods as normal, all while claiming it's for their health. But it's not about health. It's about getting the masses to accept a cheaper, more profitable, and centrally controlled food source. We have been sold a lie. They told us a story of compassion to sell us a product of chemistry. They told us it was for the planet to increase their profit. They told us it was health food when it is, in fact, an ultra-processed chemical cocktail with unknown long-term consequences. The solution is regenerative agriculture that heals the soil. The solution is supporting local farmers you can trust. The solution is eating real whole foods, not patented food-like substances with a paragraph of ingredients. The next time you are in the supermarket, I want you to do one thing. Pick up the package, read the label, and ask yourself, is this food or is this a formula? Reject the deception. Choose real food. Thanks for watching. If you want to stop being misled by the food industry, subscribe to this channel. The truth is out there.